Hey guys, Scott here. Today we're using the Marais Executioner Sword, which is a very awkward weapon. It's a great sword, which already is a pretty underwhelming weapon class in this game, and it's also like the shortest great sword ever made. It's looks like a pizza server. So it does have one super redeeming thing going for it, and that's the weapon art. The weapon art does an insane amount of damage, but it's also pretty hard to hit. Now, because the thing has such a short range, you have to rely mostly on, like, jumping attacks and stuff, because it just doesn't have enough range to roll catch with standard attacks, so jumping attacks like this are basically the main method of hitting people. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that, but the weapon is kind of too short to reliably hit people otherwise. Oh, he's dead. It's kind of too short to reliably, like, look at the actual range of this attack. It's like, it hits, like, a foot in front of me. It's just too, you can't even roll punish with it. So you pretty much just have to rely like on mostly jumping attacks, which I'm not a huge fan of. But the thing that makes this weapon unique is the weapon art itself. So the weapon art basically projects your weapon forward a little bit. If you just tap it, and it goes very far if you hold it. The problem is holding it takes like an enormous amount of time, to the point where, I mean, they can just sit there and emote at you while you're charging it up. So that's not super reliable to actually hit. However, this comes out pretty fast. And the range is okay. It's like the range of a spear or something like that. But when that hits, it's really good. So it basically boils down to this weapon just trying to trade. And like, you have to perfectly outspace people and then land that hit as their attack is ending. Because if you hit that attack point blank, it does an insanely high amount of damage. Whereas, you know, something like Glintstone Pebble will come out faster and have the same range and do double the damage. So it's certainly a lot more effort for a lot less reward, but it kind of looks cool. And also, I'm using Millicent's Prosthesis and the Rotten Winged Sword Insignia to boost my damage when all those attacks hit. But it's kind of pointless because they're dead at that point anyway, so it doesn't... It doesn't really make any sense to use it when I'm using it anyway. Alright, so we're going to just try to perfectly outspace his running attacks or jumping attacks, whatever. And then that's pretty much it. We're going to try to hit this. One bolt. I'm going to do a running R2. Mix it up a bit. God, it's so much fucking damage. That should kill him. Nope, never mind. He rolled out of the way. So yeah, unfortunately, that follow-up hit doesn't actually combo either. So you basically just... It's basically just like doing an 800 damage attack, which is okay. But that's the main gimmick of the weapon. I'm going to try a fully charged one. Oh, he's dead. No, he had the fucking tears. How did he roll out of so much of that? I don't get it. He only took 500 damage from that. Maybe this thing's way more underwhelming than I thought. That sucks. Oh, I even delayed that too, but he rolled out of range. That's the sad part. Like, I did the proper timing mix up there, but it didn't matter because he just rolled out of range. He wants the parry, so I'm not gonna use my weapon art ever again because it's incredibly easy to parry. You can reaction parry that shit. All right, put it back away. We can try it again. Yeah, this thing is just very, very hard to use, though. I hit 2 weapon arts on him, though, and he took, like, no fucking damage. It's so sad. That rolling R2 is way too slow to ever use. I shouldn't do that. So, we did kill him already, but he had tears, so he gets, like, 500 more health. Unfortunately, I can't one-shot him with this weapon, so I'm gonna do this just for the hell of it. One bolt. Glad I didn't use my weapon art there, because that would have killed me outright. Wow. Okay, he parried super late there. But yeah, I just hit him 3 times with that weapon art, and it didn't do that much. I don't know what the mechanics are behind it. Sometimes it does like 1,000, sometimes it does 400, and sometimes it instantly kills people. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is to it there, because I hit people from the same distance with like the same relative amounts of poise, and I get varying results every time. So I'm not really sure how it works. But I'm beginning to think dedicating my build to getting multi-hits is a giant waste because, frankly, even if I hit all those hits, I gain like 100 AR. It's not really worth it. Honestly, what you should probably do with this build, I'm not going to do it because I'm trying to de-incentivize stacking insanely high amounts of poise because it's kind of broken. But what I would do is get to like 112 poise with this build. Just go Great Jar, go Bulgo Talisman instead. Just get like 112 poise. That way, you can trade with most weapons in the game and actually hit people with this. And you won't get stunned and they will get stunned. So that's probably the smartest way to do it. Sadly, it's just to poise monster it. Because like the length of this weapon, you have to get in people's faces. You have to be right up in melee range. Not even melee range. You have to be like touching their model, and to safely do that, poise is pretty damn required. So I would definitely recommend not what I'm doing here. I would go Great Jar and then Bulgo Talisman as well with heaviest armor you can get. If you get to 112 poise, now you're tanking things like halberds, great spears, things like that, and now you're in a pretty good position to trade. So it's a lot easier to get that huge damage off your weapon art. That's probably what I do, but for some reason the damage has been pretty lackluster. Hey, Ancient Death Rancor. We roll directly into this. That's Rykord's Rancor. He's gonna run back into his own, but doesn't do very much damage. So, all right, we're gonna pressure him. Oh, nice. Got me out of his face. I shouldn't have rolled back. I just gave him a free punish. And no. Oh, come on! He ran into it. What? Is the hitbox really that tiny? There we go. That didn't combo either. God, this thing like is more disappointing than I thought. That should be a roll catch. Can we get one here? Here we go. The jumping attacks are still good because they have some forward momentum. Like I said, that's probably the primary attack you're gonna do. The running R2's got some okay momentum and some okay range. So typically I'll do a running R2 into a jumping attack as well because it kind of perfectly combos roll catch wise. But man, this weapon art is just super underwhelming so far. I don't know why we're getting such low damage out of it. Usually when I make these videos for like an hour before, I end up practice with the weapon so I know what I'm talking about. But you know, when I was practicing, I was doing like 1,400 damage with this shit, but now it's just doing 700-800, and they're rolling out. So I don't know. Maybe it's a poise. No, it's not a poise thing because I hit a full bull goats for 1,400 damage before he could roll. I don't know, man. Maybe this thing is just inconsistent or something. If anyone knows what is causing like the complete variance in stun time and damage and stuff, please let me know because I don't understand it. Because it's definitely not poise related. What do we got here? A dagger and a cool build. Very unconventional shit. It's a Reduvia. I'll take it. Kind of all up in my face, so we might be able to actually hit him. Usually fake running away, and then you do this. Oh man, I can't tank 2 Rivers of Blood, unfortunately. I'm gonna run at him so he runs away. And use Staunching Boluses. Damn. Still in range, unfortunately. Oh, I couldn't tank that? Interesting. Alright, well, we'll just have to one-shot him now. Why did you just... Oh, I didn't even get stunned by it. I don't get it, man. Maybe we can do a fully charged. There we go. So it seems like it needs to also tick on them multiple times for it to even stun as well. Because it ticked twice on him. It did like 90 and then 180, and he didn't get stunned by either of them. So I guess they don't actually do full damage until you've hit multiple times. Oof, that's another knock against the weapon. I think I thought this thing was better than it actually was. It's so cool, though. Like, it's such an interesting weapon. But it has so many, like, just, I think, unnecessary downsides. Namely, you know what? If I can make one change to this weapon, honestly, even the damage for a greatsword is kind of low. You can get way more damage out of like Ordovis's greatsword or mostly any other greatsword. But the one change I would make with this thing, just give it some more length, man. This is like it's the length of a straight sword. It's like they just cut off half of it. I understand that's what executioner swords look like. They have that broad blade like that, but oh man, the executioner greatsword in Dark Souls 3 wasn't this short. I better meet Cock Enjoyer. Oh hey, it's Let Me Solar. I'm kind of scared to tank that. Oh, that shit hurt really bad. See, that one hit for 1,600. I guess he's mostly naked, so it's probably a poise thing. I don't know. I'm gonna try to free him this. Nope, it doesn't even go that far. Unfortunately, I thought it would go that far. Oh my god, that actually roll caught? I feel like that wasn't in range. Let's instant replay that. I don't think that was in range. I think that was more lag than anything. But yeah, so there you go. On that guy, I hit for 1,400 damage. So maybe it only does a bunch of damage to people that have 0 poise or something like that. No, but then I hit the bull goat guy for 1,400 too. I don't know. This thing is an enigma. I have no idea how it works. Maybe there's like a... If you hit the first one or something. Maybe I had people walk into it so they didn't take all of it. And then if they don't walk in all of it, then they could stun. Maybe? I don't know, man. But yeah, so that's pretty much been the main play style. is perfectly outspace people, bait them into the weapon art. When all else fails, you basically have to rely solely on jumping attacks and probably running R2s. Running R2 combos into a jumping attack perfectly if you immediately queue it up. But that's about it. Hitting people with these regular R1s is just... I think without stacking a shit ton of poise, it's not too viable just because of the range, so I like relying on the other methods of attack for sure. Oh, cool. He's got dual curve swords, which we do poise through, so we can try to trade when he goes for the standard sprinting attack. Like, oh, he didn't go for it. He's gonna want to do it, so we're trying to trade with a sprinting attack. Oh, that clipped me, unfortunately. Oh, those bleed. Those are bleed. I'm gonna do the follow up. It only does 460. That's so sad. I'm surprised that follow up only does 460. You'd think it would do a lot more. What about the full charge? Never expect the full charge. He probably will. I'm gonna run at him. Ah! God damn it, dude. Yeah, it didn't stun. It's so hard. There's a beast roar on that one. Damn, those stun, even with 60 poise, I didn't know that. He's learn something. Oh, I thought I outspaced that perfectly. Jumping attack follow-up? Nope, no range. Timing was perfect, but it didn't matter. Oh, that's so depressing. Oh, you're not finishing me with fan knives. God damn it. It's too slow. I don't know why I tried anything but a jumping attack. GG. Oh, God, the damage is so disappointing. For how much investment I put into buffing the damage of it, it just seems like it's so disappointing. I don't know why, like, compared to other greatswords too, it just straight up does less damage with more, like, stats too. For example, I have basically an effective 80 strength while two-handing, and then I have 36 arcane, and then I have just the dex to wield it, but it's still not hidden for that much. And the problem is it's because it's split damage. Split damage always does less, so I can get a regular greatsword to this AR with pure physical damage, which is going to do way, way more. Now, obviously, it doesn't have this weapon art, but frankly, the weapon art, while cool, is less useful than, like, you know, a giant hunt or a sword dance or a storm stomp or, like, any of those generic ones. So it's definitely hard to recommend this other than the cool factor. Like, the cool factor is definitely off the charts. The weapon looks cool as shit. But in terms of, like, actually being conventionally useful, it's I don't know, man. The more I use it, the more it is hard to recommend. Because the weapon art is not consistent enough. Let's try to get one again here. Yeah, and then sometimes it just one-shots. I don't get it. Like, that guy's got Malekith's armor. He's got Okina's mask. Like, he's got a decent amount of poise. I don't understand what the fucking variable is. Why does it sometimes do a shit ton and sometimes it tickles them and they just roll away? Oh, it's frustrating not understanding why that's happening. Because I truly don't believe it's poise related. Because like I said, I've done that to a full bull goat and I've had a naked guy roll out. So I don't know. Like, maybe it's based on the range, maybe? I don't know. That's the best part about uploading this to YouTube, is that I'll have plenty of eyes to watch and maybe you guys are noticing something that I'm not noticing. But the inconsistency of it is one of the most frustrating parts about the weapon. Like, if I perfectly outspace someone, I expect to get a huge damaging punish. Like, you know, if I use Glintstone Pebble and I perfectly outspace someone, they just die. They just straight up die in one hit. So I typically expect, you know, not someone to die, but to do, you know, like, you know, 1400 damage, like a super, super huge punish like that. But it's not doing that the majority of the time. And I just need to know why so I can try to get that. Because once I actually hit that amount, then it's worth it. Then the weapon actually becomes good. But the fact that it's not consistent really holds it back. I gotta say, these are not doing anything. I'm pretty sure these are not affecting my AR and that ability, like, whatsoever. I think I go from, like, 780 AR to, like, 870 or something. I think I gained, like, 90 AR. And that's at the end of the combo when they're already dead, so it doesn't really matter. In fact, I'm just gonna unequip this. It's really not doing anything, unfortunately. What do I even want to do? I don't know. I actually don't know what else I want to put on here. Whatever. For posterity's sake, I'll just keep it on because that's the build I started the video with, and I suppose that's the build I'll end it with. But yeah, it does seem like for PvE, combining these two things for the consecutive attack power increase, it's actually probably pretty good for PvE bosses and stuff like that. But if you hit somebody with a full combo with this, they're usually probably dead, so it doesn't really seem worth it, like, at all. It's a fun gimmick, and I thought it'd be cool to try it out, but the more I use it, the more it really just does not seem worth it. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Running R2s are good. Jump attacks after running R2s are good. And then perfectly outspaced and do weapon arts. And that's pretty much it. I don't think there's much else to this weapon, unfortunately. Hey! Is that just two Uchigatanas? What is that? I can't tell. I think that's just two Uchigatanas. Not that scary. In terms of dual wield movesets, it's certainly a bit... Oh, no, it's a Moonveil. Actually, no. I forgot. Regular katanas can do that, in fact. There we go. So, you'll notice the jumping R2 is exactly the stun duration of one roll. I gotta say, like, all you have to do is roll directly backwards and I can't hit you, but he rolled, like, kind of to the side, so it barely put me in range. But if you do as much forward momentum as possible, you can basically cover one roll that doesn't go directly away from you. But if you're going against this thing and someone hits you with a jump attack, just roll backwards. They actually can't hit you. It's too short. Let's do a few more. I feel like I haven't seen all there is to see with this weapon, but... Yeah, that's one-handed R2 is the same. I know the crouching attack is just not that good either, because it has... No. Look at that range. This is basically nothing. Crouching R2, or the regular R2 is just way too slow. Rolling R1 has, again, very little range. I feel like the only attack that's got inherent range is this running R2. It seems kind of decent because he keeps running forward when he does the spin, and then your jumping attack. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else. One-handed poke, is it different? Nah, same attack. God, it's like the moveset between one-handed and two-handed, it just stays the same. That's so uninteresting. A lot of weapons like will have their movesets change one-handed and two-handed, but it's just like the same exact moves. Frozen weapon, interesting. On an S-stock, no less. Cool. What's that in his main hand? Is that a parrying dagger? Oh, it's the ice rapier thingy. Cool. All right. I think I can poise through that, right? Like, what the fuck? Why did that stun him that time? I don't... Bro, I don't get this weapon. It's so inconsistent. That went through his Tears of Denial and almost killed him again. And also the follow-up hit him. But again, I've seen naked people roll out of my follow-up. So what the hell is the... What is the pattern? I'm gonna be, like, sleeping tonight like Pepe Silvia, like, in the chalkboard of my mind. Like, what the fuck is the differentiating factor? Because we've had, in this video, naked people not get stunned by the full thing. And then we've had people in full armor get full stunned by it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Not sure I'll ever know. I'm not even sure FromSoft knows. It might be one of those things that's just based on latency or just some weird, like, super inconsistent thing, but hard to say. Oh my god, actual guts. Now, Ultra Great Swords are really scary to go against because they're just better versions of this. That thing, it hits twice as hard, it's twice the length, has more poise damage. I'd say my best bet is... Oh, we're doing prawns. I'll do some prawns too then. If we're doing best bet here, I jump over his rolling attack and then punish him with a jump. That's my plan. I can punish this. Never mind, they buffed it. Son of a bitch. I didn't think that was in range, so I didn't bother rolling. I'm trying to, like, perfectly outspace things. What the hell? Oh, we got some lag going on. Maybe that's why. All right, here comes... Oh, no, pivot. No pivot. Oh, he just... See, I think it doesn't actually stun. They just... I think, you know why I'm hitting people with that full combo? They just don't know what the fuck this weapon is. That's probably why. Because that dude was literally walking away from it. So you know he was not chain stunned. I think the way we're hitting people with the full combo is they just don't know what this weapon does. And so they're just not rolling. I actually think that's what's happening. Because, yeah, we could see that guy was in no danger of being stunned. He just kept going. So... And he had some pretty decent poise. I think he had Malekith's set, which has... It's not super high, but it's enough. You know, it's enough to tank, like, you know, a small weapon. So I definitely think that people getting hit by the full combo are getting hit solely because of just simply inexperience going against it. Because, I mean, let's be honest, how often do you go against this weapon? It's pretty uncommon. When they did the whole arcane buff, everyone ignored this and just went for Rivers of Blood. although this is one of the weapons that became, fixed, everyone just sort of looked it over, and I just don't see it used very often. And I can kind of see why. It's a pretty frustrating weapon to use, so I get that, you have this, or Rivers of Blood. Rivers of Blood has 3 times the range, and the weapon art does the same damage, so I get it. It's certainly a mismatch there. But that's probably why people are getting hit so much by it, because they just simply don't even know what it does. I still want to hit someone with the charged one. It's just such a long attack. I don't know how I'm going to hit someone with it. I feel like I'm going to kill myself trying. All right. Let's make it our mission to try this fight to hit the fully charged version at range. We're going to try. Roll into him for bubble. All right, here we go. We got to bait out a running R2 and have him narrowly hit it. Never mind, that's got too much range. I don't think I can actually narrowly avoid that. I also cannot poison it either. Maybe I can just predict when he's coming? No, even then that won't work. Now, you literally have time to double roll. Like, even if you see it and you fuck up your roll timing, it takes so long that you can just roll again. Oh, yeah, he ignored that too. I mean, that's just what a weapon art does. Damn it. I swear to God, I will still keep trying. I don't care what my health is. I always laugh when people reverse backstep. GG. Nah, going for the charged art, or the charged weapon art is basically worthless. I gave it a shot there, but especially with that weapon that has like giga range, I don't know. It seems like even if they all right, so say you even do a smart move, you run up in their face and you bait it, and you run up and then begin the charge. So you're like, say that's an opponent. I run right up in their face and I go, I charge it. They can panic roll, see that it's not coming, and then just roll again out of range. It seems to go like 2 rolls worth of distance. So we just saw that happen. Like he mistimed his roll, and then it was like, oh, he's charging it. And he just rolled away again. So you don't even have to time it well, because the charge of it is so slow that you can just simply roll away from it. So I think the full charge thing is, you know what, it's probably a gimmick that works in invasions. If you get a bunch of super aggressive players, you can try like a charge, turn and burn like this or something like that. But in a duel, I just can't see any way that's ever going to be good. Hell, by the time you finish the charge, they'll have swap weapons, begun casting Hone Bolt, and just like killed you outright. So I would definitely stick with just the regular version of it, because it does plenty of damage, and I don't think the additional range is at all worth it. I might actually be able to break through this, because I know it does some decent poise damage or stability damage to shields. Let's see. All right, just gonna tank this. Wow. Well, all right then. Great shields nerf for sure. There we go. What is this? Okay, he actually has to roll now. Stop it, I can't regenerate stamina fast enough. I don't know what the fuck meme that was. I guess he was two-handing, that's why it had so much stability. That's not even a high stability great shield, I don't think. Dude, that's even the sad part. That's actually not one of the highest stability great shields in the game. Like, if he had the fingerprint shield, I actually could have done that until I ran out of FP and not broken his guard. Great shields are still very, very silly. But, I mean, most great shields are fine. It's just, like, it's the problematic ones that are, well, I guess that's redundant. The problematic ones are a problem. But since they're in the game, I mean, people are just gonna use them. I do like the whole mindset FromSoft has with not really nerfing overpowered things and mostly buffing weaker things. But they do need to nerf some things. There are some things in the game, like, Bloodhound Step, for example, that they just need a nerf. Even for PvE, they need a nerf. And they're not prone, or they're not averse to not nerfing things like that, because we've seen them do it already. They've already nerfed, like, Hoarfrost Stomp in PvE because it was stupid. It was stupid in PvP too. And so I think Bloodhound Step, for example, does the exact same thing. It just negates a lot of the game. I can't trade with that, unfortunately. Actually, I don't think I can ever use my weapon against the Moonveil. I'm pretty sure he can just reaction Moonveil. Maybe I can punish his Marais Storm? No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can just reaction Ice Storm me. I don't think I can ever use my weapon art here. We just have to do jumping attacks. No, see how he rolled out of range because he rolled directly backwards? That's the thing I was talking about earlier. All you have to do is roll directly backwards and you're fine. Because the weapon's too short. Oh my god, I pivoted. That's completely my fault. Oh, that wasn't even a good jumping attack. It had no tracking either. So that pivot was my fault. Pivoting is when you change directions and just die, but GG. Yeah, overall, I would say this thing is very cool. It's just not that great. Its gimmick attack is cool. Like this gimmick attack, when the stars align and it does a bunch of damage, is cool. But then you also look at something like, you know, do I have it on this character? I don't know this character. You look at something like Glintstone Pebble, right? And Glintstone Pebble has the same range with the exact same speed, and it does double the damage with less recovery, costs less FP. There's like such a mismatch of balance there that it's like kind of depressing to have an entire build be around this and have it still be worse than just a tiny little, like, you know, Pebble, for example. Or even, you know, a Moonveil's, you know, Transient Moonlight's going to do the same damage at triple the speed and stuff like that. So it's a cool weapon overall. I'm actually a fan of using it because I think the actual weapon art itself is neat, but I think it doesn't have enough going for it to really justify it as a good weapon. It's fun to use, but yeah, not the best. Maybe someday they'll just like slab another like foot to the end of it and they'll have a pretty decent weapon. But the fact that I can't even roll catch people that roll directly backwards because it's too short is depressing. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. This was the Marais Executioner Sword. Overall, I give this thing a solid, I don't know, 5 out of 10. It's cool, but it's definitely not one of the best. Thanks for watching. See you next time.